Okay, so you've got this big interview coming up
Mm.
for an industrial tool design engineer position.
Yeah.
Probably feeling a little nervous, I bet.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah, totally understandable.
Understandable.
But that's why we're here.
Right.
Think of this as your deep dive cheat sheet
Okay.
to not just what they'll ask, but how to really knock your answers out of the park.
Awesome.
So we've got a career guide,
Okay.
an interview guide packed with RoleCatcher's insight,
Uh-huh.
and even a sneak peek at how RoleCatcher's AI
Yeah.
can give you an edge.
That's right. We're going to unlock the secrets to what hiring managers
I love it.
are truly listening for in those responses, so you can walk in feeling confident and ready.
Okay, let's jump right in. Before we tackle those questions,
Yeah.
can you paint a quick picture of what an industrial tool design engineer actually does?
Sure.
We've got this awesome career guide, so let's pull from that.
So think of it as the bridge between cool tool idea and actually making it happen. You're blending creativity and practicality, taking client needs and turning them into real-world tools, all while navigating manufacturing constraints and building specifications.
It sounds like a pretty dynamic role.
Yeah, definitely.
This career guide even breaks down the different stages of an industrial tool design engineer's journey.
Mm-hmm.
What stood out to you?
Well, what's fascinating is the potential career trajectory.
Okay.
You might start by assisting senior engineers, but from there, you can move on to leading entire design projects. Some engineers even specialize in a particular industry or type of tool. There's room to grow and really make your mark.
Okay, that's super encouraging for anyone starting out in this field.
Yeah.
But let's get down to the nitty-gritty, the interview.
Yeah.
We're going to spend the bulk of our time today prepping you for those questions.
Great.
We've got the top 10 pulled straight from RoleCatcher's extensive database.
Nice.
So, these are the real deal. We're ready to dive in.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
All right, question number 1. Describe your experience in designing industrial tools. It seems pretty straightforward, but I bet there's more to it than meets the eye.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
You're right. It's deceptively simple. They're not just looking for a list of projects you've worked on. They want to see your thought process, how you approach a design challenge, how you consider user needs, and how you overcome obstacles.
So how can you structure your answer to really showcase those skills?
Think STAR method.
Okay.
Situation, task, action, result. Describe a specific project, the challenges you faced, the steps you took, and the positive outcome. And don't just tell them what you did, explain why you made certain design choices. Be ready to defend your decisions.
That's a great tip. Be prepared to go deeper than just the surface level. Okay, question number 2. How do you approach working with a team to design a tool?
All right.
What's the strategic approach to this one?
Well, collaboration is key in this field. Industrial tool design is rarely a solo endeavor. They want to know that you can communicate effectively, contribute to a shared vision, and navigate those inevitable design disagreements that come up when you're working on a team.
And I'm noticing a big avoid note in our RoleCatcher interview guide here. It says to avoid answers that downplay teamwork.
That's crucial. Even if you're a rock star solo designer, you need to show them you can thrive in a team setting. Highlight your ability to give and receive feedback and your experience in resolving conflicts constructively. For example, they might ask, "Tell me about a time you had a disagreement with a team member on a design decision. How did you handle it?"
That's a tough one. But it's a great opportunity to showcase your conflict resolution skills. Okay, question number 3. How do you ensure that your designs are manufacturable and cost-effective? This one feels like a potential trap. What's the key to navigating this question?
It's all about finding that sweet spot between your engineering expertise and your business sense. Show them you understand that a brilliant design is useless if it can't be produced efficiently and within budget.
Okay.
One of the most valuable lessons I learned early on was to consult with the manufacturing team throughout the design process. It saved me a lot of headaches and costly revisions down the road.
So don't be afraid to talk about collaborating with other teams and seeking input from experts in different areas.
Exactly. And be ready for follow-up questions like, "Tell me about a time you had to balance design ideals with budget limits." Having a concrete example ready to go will really demonstrate your understanding of those real-world constraints.
Great advice. Let's move on to question number 4. Have you ever worked with a client to design a tool that met their specific needs?
Okay.
What are your thoughts on that one?
This is your chance to shine a light on your client management skills. But remember, they want to see more than just basic communication. Highlight your ability to actively listen, understand their pain points, and translate those needs into a tangible design solution.
The guide emphasizes the power of storytelling here.
Yes. Focus on a project where you went above and beyond, overcame challenges, or really nailed the client's unique requirements. A strong narrative will stick with them and show them you can deliver results. Be prepared for questions like, what steps do you take to ensure the client feels heard and understood throughout the design process?
Okay, I'm starting to see a theme here. It's not just about knowing the technical stuff. It's about demonstrating those soft skills, like communication, collaboration, and problem solving.
Right.
On to question number 5. Can you describe a time when you had to modify a tool's design to improve its functionality? This feels like a classic behavioral question.
You're exactly right. They want to see how you handle challenges and adapt to changing circumstances. Remember, it's not about admitting failure. It's about showcasing your ability to learn, iterate, and continuously improve.
So how can our listener frame their answer to highlight those qualities?
Choose an example where you identified a design flaw, either during testing or after receiving feedback. Explain your thought process, the steps you took to modify the design, and the positive outcome of those changes. Focus on the lessons learned and how you applied those insights to future projects.
Don't shy away from those moments where things didn't go perfectly.
Yeah.
It's all about how you handle those setbacks and turn them into opportunities for growth. Okay, question 6. How do you stay up to date with the latest advancements in industrial tool design? This one feels particularly relevant in such a rapidly evolving field.
Absolutely. The landscape of industrial tool design is constantly shifting with new technologies, materials, and methodologies emerging all the time. They want to see that you're actively engaged in staying ahead of the curve and embracing innovation. For example, advancements in 3D printing have revolutionized prototyping and opened up new possibilities for complex geometries and lightweight designs.
So mentioning something specific like that tied to current industry trends would make a strong impression.
Exactly. And don't just name drop technologies. Talk about a recent article or presentation that sparked your interest or a new technique you're eager to try out. It shows genuine passion and a desire to learn and grow.
Great point. Okay, moving right along to question 7. Can you describe a time when you had to troubleshoot an issue with a tool's design? It sounds similar to question 5, but maybe with a different focus.
Good observation. They're both about problem solving. But question 5 was more about improving functionality, while this one is about addressing a specific issue or flaw that's preventing the tool from working as intended. They want to see your analytical skills, your ability to identify the root cause of a problem, and your resourcefulness in finding solutions.
So it's more about technical troubleshooting and those moments where you had to dig deep to figure out what was going wrong.
Exactly. The RoleCatcher guide encourages getting a bit technical here. Walk them through the problem, your thought process, the steps you took to isolate the issue, the tools and techniques you used, and ultimately how you resolve the problem. Don't be afraid to showcase your expertise.
Okay, on to question number 8. How do you prioritize and manage your design projects? I imagine this is all about showcasing your organizational skills.
You're spot on. They want to know you can handle a busy workload, meet deadlines, and stay organized even when things get hectic. And remember, avoid vague answers like, I'm good at multitasking.
So what kind of specific examples could really impress the interviewer?
Talk about your system for tracking progress. Do you use project management software? Do you have a method for breaking down large projects into manageable tasks? Maybe you prioritize tasks based on deadlines or client urgency. Sharing concrete strategies demonstrates your ability to manage your time effectively.
It shows that you're not just reactive, you're proactive and organized. Okay, let's tackle question 9. How do you approach incorporating sustainable design principles into your industrial tool designs? This feels particularly relevant given the increasing focus on sustainability across all industries.
It absolutely is. Sustainability is no longer a nice-to-have, it's a must-have. They want to know you're aware of the environmental impact of your designs and that you actively seek to minimize that impact. Have you explored using recycled materials? Have you optimized designs for energy efficiency? Maybe you've considered the tool's entire life cycle, including its potential for recycling or repurposing at the end of its useful life.
So don't just talk about sustainability in general terms. Come prepared with concrete examples that demonstrate your commitment to designing with the planet in mind.
Exactly. And be prepared to discuss the trade-offs involved. Sometimes sustainable choices might come with a higher upfront cost or require some design compromises. Being able to articulate those considerations shows a nuanced understanding of the challenges and opportunities of sustainable design.
Got one final question to conquer. Question 10. How do you approach testing and validating your industrial tool designs? This feels like it's all about quality control and attention to detail.
It is. They want to see that you don't just design a tool and hope for the best. You rigorously test and validate your designs to ensure they meet the required standards and perform as expected.
So what are some specific testing methods and criteria that our listener could mention?
Think about the tools and technologies you use. Do you utilize simulation software to test designs virtually? Do you create physical prototypes and subject them to real-world conditions? Explain the metrics you track to evaluate performance, whether it's durability, efficiency, or user feedback.
Demonstrating a systematic approach to testing and validation will show them you're committed to delivering high-quality, reliable designs.
Exactly, and being able to speak to industry-standard testing procedures or certifications can add another layer of credibility to your answers.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground. 10 tough questions. But with these strategies and insights, I'm feeling way more confident about acing that interview. What's next on our deep dive agenda?
Well, now that we've tackled those top 10 questions, let's shift gears and explore some career insights that can add depth to your answers and really impress the hiring manager. Remember that career guide we mentioned?
Oh, yeah. The one that outlined the career trajectory for industrial tool design engineers. Yeah. I'm ready to dive back into that.
It's packed with valuable information, not just about advancement paths, but also practical advice on showcasing your capabilities and even some unexpected pros and cons of the job.
Let's hear it. What are some of the key takeaways that will resonate with our listener who's clearly motivated to learn and succeed in this field?
Well, one thing that stood out to me was the emphasis on building a strong portfolio that highlights your best design projects.
Okay.
It's like a visual resume that showcases your skills and creativity.
Makes sense. It's one thing to talk about your experience, but having tangible examples to show them can really make an impact.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to think outside the traditional portfolio. The guide mentions contributing to open source projects, which is a fantastic way to demonstrate your skills, collaborate with others, and build your network. You could even create a personal website or online portfolio to showcase your work.
Those are great ideas, especially for anyone early in their career who might not have a ton of professional projects under their belt yet. What about advancement paths? The guide mentioned you're not stuck in one role forever, right?
Right. As you gain experience, you can specialize in a particular type of tool design, maybe focusing on a specific industry like aerospace or medical devices.
Okay.
Or you could even specialize in a certain type of manufacturing process like injection molding or CNC machining.
So if you discover a niche that really excites you, you can build your expertise and become a sought-after specialist in that area.
Exactly. Or you could move into a management role, leading a team of engineers and overseeing larger, more complex projects.
So there's a path for those who enjoy the leadership and mentorship aspect of the job. What about the more entrepreneurial folks? Is there a path for them as well?
Absolutely. The guide even mentions the possibility of starting your own design firm or consultancy. You could build your own brand work with a variety of clients and have more autonomy and control over your projects.
Okay, now we're talking. That's pretty inspiring. It sounds like there's a lot of room for growth and flexibility in this field. But how can you connect these career insights back to those interview questions we discussed? It's one thing to know about these possibilities, but how do you actually demonstrate that you're thinking long-term and see yourself building a career in this field?
Great question. Let's take that question about staying up to date with the latest advancements. Instead of just rattling off a list of generic resources, tie your answer to a specific trend or technology that's relevant to the company or the role you're interviewing for.
So do your research on the company, see what they're working on, and tailor your response to show them you're genuinely interested in their work and the direction the industry is heading.
Exactly. Or let's say you're asked about a time you had to modify a tool's design. You could connect it back to your commitment to continuous improvement and how you're always seeking ways to enhance functionality, efficiency, or maybe even the sustainability of your designs. It shows you're not just focused on completing tasks, you're thinking critically and always striving to do better.
I love that. Okay, this has been incredibly helpful. We've covered those crucial top 10 interview questions and gained valuable insights into the career path itself. But there's one more piece of the puzzle we need to discuss, right?
Right. As helpful as this all is, walking into that interview room can still feel daunting. It's one thing to practice your answers, but it's another to deliver them with confidence and clarity when you're in the hot seat.
Exactly. And that's where RoleCatcher's AI comes in. It's not just a job search platform. It's like having a personal interview coach in your pocket. I'm really excited to dig into this.
Me too. It's about taking all of the knowledge and practice we've discussed and adding that extra layer of polish and refinement.
Okay, we've covered those top 10 interview questions and gained some serious career insights.
Yeah.
But now it's time to unleash the secret weapon, RoleCatcher's AI.
Right.
it's not just about finding jobs. It's about helping you ace those interviews.
Absolutely.
I'm ready to hear how this AI magic works.
Okay, so let's imagine you've put in the work, crafted those stellar answers to the questions we've discussed. You're feeling good.
Yeah.
But how do you know those answers are really going to hit the mark?
You know, it's like, I think I sound good,
Right.
but I'd love to have an expert double-check my work. Is that kind of what RoleCatcher's AI does?
Exactly. You input your answers, and the AI analyzes them based on the specific job description you're targeting. It's not just a generic grammar check. It's looking for keywords, phrases, and concepts that align with what that company is looking for.
Wait, so it's tailored to each individual job I apply for?
Yes.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
What kind of feedback does it give?
It's incredibly detailed. It'll point out areas where your answers might be too vague, too technical, or just not hitting the key points the hiring manager's looking for. But it doesn't just tell you what's wrong. It actually provides suggestions on how to strengthen your answers.
So, like, it might suggest adding a specific example from my experience.
Yeah.
Or quantifying my accomplishments with numbers.
You got it.
Yeah.
It might even suggest highlighting a particular skill that's emphasized in the job description. It's like having a personal editor who's also an expert in industrial tool design, helping you craft the perfect response.
Okay, that's a game changer.
Yeah.
But even with perfect answers, there's still those interview nerves, you know, feeling flustered, stumbling over your words. Can RoleCatcher help with that too?
Absolutely. That's where the video practice feature comes in. You record yourself answering the questions.
What?
And the AI analyzes not just your words, but also your body language.
Oh, wow.
Your tone of voice, your overall presentation. Like,
wait, hold up. It can analyze my body language.
Yes.
Like, tell me if I'm fidgeting too much or not making enough eye contact.
Yep. It'll provide feedback on your posture, your gestures, even your facial expressions. It helps you identify those little nervous habits that might be undermining your confidence.
Okay, I'm seriously impressed. It's like having a mock interview with an expert who can give you personalized feedback on every aspect of your performance.
Exactly.
And think about the confidence boost you'll have knowing you've practiced your answers, gotten expert feedback, and seen yourself on camera.
Yeah.
It's like having a secret weapon going into that interview.
It is.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, the big takeaway here is preparation is everything.
Yes.
And RoleCatcher's AI can take that preparation to the next level.
Absolutely. We've covered so much today, understanding what industrial tool design engineers do, mastering those tough interview questions, gaining valuable career insights, and now even harnessing the power of AI to fine-tune your answers and boost your confidence.
You've got the tools and the knowledge to walk into that interview feeling prepared and ready to showcase your best self.
Remember, it's not just about answering questions. It's about telling your story, showing your passion for this field, and demonstrating your potential.
So as we wrap up, here's a final thought for you to ponder.
Okay.
We talked about staying up to date with industry advancements. What's one thing you'll do to keep learning and growing even after you land that amazing job?
That's a great question. I would say join a professional organization or set up a Google alert for the latest news and trends in industrial tool design.
Okay.
The learning never stops.
Couldn't agree more. And of course, don't forget to check out RoleCatcher. You might be surprised how prepared and confident you feel going into that interview. Good luck out there.
Thanks for joining us. We'll be back next time with another deep dive into a different career path. Until then, happy learning.